today I'm going to take you through the first piece from my Rhythm of Conscience series. We're going to go measure by measure, and I'm going to attempt to break down some of these more complex rhythms, specifically the ones that substitute a certain amount of a type of note in the space of a different amount of the same type of note. So here we go. Measure 1. We've got two 5-lits. First 5-lit is 5/16 in the space of 4/16. The second 5-lit is 5/16 in the space of 3/16. So we're going to take the first half of the measure. I'm going to turn my med on. I've got it set at 80 with a subdivision. So here's our first two beats here. 3, 4. I'm listening for the left hand release to happen right on count 3. Okay, easy enough. The difficult thing about that 5-lit is just keeping it open. I'm thinking about the left hand upstroke from the grace note to the accent in the middle of that 5-lit, trying to keep that motion smooth and connected. Okay, second half of the measure. This 5-lit at the end takes up the last 3/16 of the measure. So it's going to be starting on the E of 4, releasing on beat 1 of the next measure. Here's the second half of measure 1. 1, 2. Now here I'm trying to rebound across the rest that happens on count 4. So my right hand grace note on the of 3, watch how that rebounds to the attack of the 5-lit on the E of 4. 3, 1, 2. So I'm trying to utilize the rebound, trying to connect these rhythms so they're not so segmented. Here's entire measure 1. Okay, moving on, measure 2. We've got some 30-second notes in the first 2 beats. Let's take just the first beat of measure 2. 3, 4. So again, I'm trying to connect the left hand attack to the accent on the of beat 1. Making sure that release of the left hand triple is right on beat 2. Alright, beat 2, we have an inverted roll that ends with a putted, a right, left, left, ending on an accent count 3. So if I add that to beat 1, we have 3, 4. Okay, this next one's the tricky one. We've got 2 9-lits. Each 9-lit is it's taking up the space of an entire beat. So we've got 9 notes, 9 30-second notes written here that are really in the space of 8 30-seconds. Easiest way to think of it is one 9-lit takes up 1 beat. Okay? The first 9-lit is split into a grouping of 5 and a grouping of 4. The 5 is sticking of an egg beater, and the grouping of 4 is a paradiddle. So trying to get that flow, the connection of those 2 groupings. The next 9-lit is a little trickier. It's a grouping of 4 and then a grouping of 5. The grouping of 4 is still a paradiddle. Grouping of 5, it's a little syncopated. So here's the last 9-lit in the measure. Think of the accent in the right hand after the paradiddle. I feel that on the middle partial of a grouping of 3. If we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that right hand accent happens in the middle of a grouping of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Now we add the rest of it. That left hand happens on the first partial of a grouping of 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm always listening for, looking for checkpoints where I can line up with different subdivisions of the beat. So now putting those two 9-lets together, slow still. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Up to speed. Let's connect it with the first half of the measure. Measure 2, 3, 4. Now the 9-lets are only slightly faster than the 30 seconds. So keep that in mind. When you shift to the 9-lets, it's not going to be this immense increase in energy. It's just going to be slightly faster. Measure 3. We only have one substitution. It's a 5-let on beat 4, and it's 5/16ths in the space of 4/16ths. I'm going to play the whole measure here. 3, 4. The tricky part is this grouping of 30 seconds on count 2 going into the 30-second paradiddle in count 3. So if I just take those two beats by themselves, beats 2 and 3. There's beat 2. Adding beat 3 now. Beats 2 and 3, measure 3. Okay, let's move on. Measure 4. We have a couple substitutions. First 5-let on beat 1, 5/16ths in the space of 4/16ths. Then a 16th triplet, sextuplet, no problem. Then we have two 30-second 5-lets, which basically is equivalent to 1/16th 5-let. Okay, so those two 30-second 5-lets are taking up count 4. Let's take just the first two beats. Alright, last two beats. We've got some fast inverts here, and then into these 5-lets. Alright, let's put the measure together. Okay, next measure. Again, we have two 9-lets. This is just like bar 2. These two 9-lets, each one takes up an entire beat. The groupings, let's see, if you look across the first 9-let, you have a grouping of 6 in the first 9-let, and then that last grouping of 3 in the 9-let is actually the beginning of an egg beater that kind of bleeds over into the second 9-let. So we've got a paradiddle diddle off the left, grouping of 6, we've got an egg beater grouping of 5, a paradiddle grouping of 4, and then the last grouping of 3 is just a single triplet. So a 6, 5, 4, 3. 6 plus 5, 11, 11, 4, 15. 15 plus 3, 18. So 9 and 9, you have 18 total beats. There's the breakdown of it. 6, 5, 4, 3.